sorry that I can't be here tonight to meet with you in person, but I prepared a video just to go over our schedule of the day and let you know what's going to be happening in our classroom this year. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of your girls, and I think it's going to be a fun year. Before I go over our schedule, though, I'll go over a little bit about myself. I've worked here at Shining Lights for about 8 years now. I started out as an aide, and when I went away to college at Philadelphia Biblical University, I came home in the summers and got to work in all the classrooms. So I've seen a lot of the kids and got to see them grow up, and it's been a lot of fun. I've really felt like this is a family setting and gotten to know everybody here. It's a lot of fun. Before we get to our schedule, though, some friends would like to say hi to you. All right, everybody say hi.
Hi.
We're doing some reading.
It's so hard.
Our day starts out at 8:30 in the morning. It is a little bit earlier than the other kids come in for the day, but I like to give them that time to just settle in for the day and unpack their things from their backpack. They have time to talk to their friends a little bit and have some more time to practice different skills. We'll be working on some different practice papers in the morning during morning work. We'll be practicing addition, subtraction, letter sounds, handwriting, and other types of skills. It'll also be a time for them to check their jobs for the morning. Starting in a couple of weeks, we'll start jobs for each of the children. In kindergarten, we'll be working on independence and having them have their own jobs to be able to do in the classroom and help out. After this, we will start circle time at 8:45. In that time, we do our calendar, and we use this time to have extra practice of different skills like the days of the week, counting with our numbers, our months, working on counting in Spanish as well. We'll be working on counting by fives. We'll be working on counting by tens as well, just to have some extra practice of those skills. As well, we'll have song time to get their bodies moving a little bit, get all the wiggles out. And then we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance and also sharing time. We'll be starting in October. That'll give the girls some time to work on their confidence as well in front of others and sharing something about themselves. They'll each have their own day where they'll come in and they can bring in a toy or something from home. They can share something they did over the weekend as well, giving them that time to share about themselves as well. After this, we will have our language arts time at 9:15. This is our whole class book time where I'll have a book that I'll be reading to them, and we'll practice different skills such as concepts of print, discussing how to read our book from left to right, the different parts of a book, and then we'll move into retelling the story, being able to retell and sequence different events in the story, being able to predict what might happen next, infer what might be happening later, how somebody is feeling in the story, the setting, and also making connections between different books. The different books that we will be reading during this time will be seasonal. They might be related to our science themes or our social studies themes as well. After that, we will move to reading, and this is where we will be working on our phonological awareness, phonemic awareness, and phonics. This is basically just being able to break down the words into their different sounds, being able to look at a word and hear the different sounds, and also being able to put together all of our letters to make different words. This is a time when we will be reading our phonics books together as a class. They'll practice reading a page or two with the class so I can see where they're at, what they're sounding out, and then they'll be sent home as homework. So they should be reading those 3 times over 3 separate days so they can have the practice in as well. Along with that, we have our star words that'll be going home to practice. They should practice recognizing them, and if they have that down, they can practice writing them as well, so they're able to use them during our writing workshop time. As well, our reading groups go along with this curriculum. I'll be testing them to see what level they are in reading, and that'll be time that I can have one-on-one or one-on-two to help with the skills that they need at whatever level they are at. Our curriculum is out on the table as well. We use our Reading A to Z, and that's where we get our lesson plans, our phonics books, and our star words and reading level groups from. I wanted to show a picture here of one of the insides of the book to help you when you're reading through the book to know exactly where we are at during that time. In the beginning of each book at the top, it should have there what we are studying in this lesson. In this book here in the picture, it looks like we are looking at the op and ot family. It has, under that, it'll have different words that fit into that skill that we're studying. It'll have different elements, phonemic elements that we have looked at before. All of the letters listed there we have done before. And then after that, it'll have our new high frequency words, and those are our star words that we'll be learning. Most of the time they'll match up with the ones that I'm sending home on the cards. Every once in a while I might add in a new word that I feel they need to know. After that, it has the reviewed high frequency words, ones we've done before, and also other things to look at while reading. This book is looking at the plural ending S, looking at why we may have S added on to different words in this book. So just a little help to look at as you're looking through the book, different things to be working on as they're reading it at home with you. Also, I wanted to give some different ways to help work on star words, as opposed to just looking at the cards, some different fun ways to help them. You can make a go fish game where they're looking at the different words, trying to match them up. They could practice writing them in sand or rice. We'll be doing some of these games as well in class during our center time to help go over the star words. You can play use fly swatter and practice swatting them on the word, or even using the glitter glue to help them trace it with their words and see how to spell them. So some different fun ways to help them go over their star words. I also wanted to let you know little tricks that we're going to use in class that can help you as well at home to go over when they're sounding out words in their books or in their star words. So one way that we're going to learn about it in class is how to stretch out our words like a snake. So for example, the word mat would be mat. So hearing all those different sounds, the M, the A, and the T. We also will be tapping out words on our fingers, tapping our fingers to our thumb to hear the different sounds as well. They could also do that another similar way, clapping out the sounds as well to hear the different sounds in a word. And then when they're reading words in a book, they can point to each letter to hear the sounds, drag their finger under it to help put those sounds together. Also, using a note card can help to cover up the other letters and just look at one letter at a time to hear the different letter sounds. After this, at 9:55, we'll move to social studies and science. We'll switch on and off between social studies and science depending on the month. Social studies time will be a time to introduce to them what history is, that there is a past, and what our past is in our country, how our country started out. Some of the themes in social studies will be geography, Native Americans, early exploration and settlement, Christopher Columbus, the Pilgrims, Independence Day, presidents, symbols and figures. In science will be a time to get into hands-on learning, exploring with our senses to help understand ourselves and the world around us. Some of the themes will be plants, animals, the human body, magnetism, seasons, taking care of the earth, and science biographies. We'll be learning about different scientists. At 10:15 is snack time. When their birthdays come up, you're able to bring in any snack for the kids if you would like to. None of the kids in our class have any allergies, so anything you'd like to bring in, or even we had one student last year bring in pizza for the class, so if you would like to do that, you can let us know. At 10:30 will be Bible time, and at that time we'll be combining with the Lightning class with Miss Heather's class. So Miss Heather and I will be switching off different weeks to teach Bible to those two classes. At 11 o'clock will be math time, and that will be an introduction to basic skills and lots of practice with our numbers and actual objects. We'll be having a lot of hands-on learning to learn all of our math skills. Some of the skills we'll be looking at this year will be patterns, sorting, numbers and counting, money, addition, subtraction, measurement, learning how to tell time, and geometry. After this, at 11:30, we'll be combining with the Lightning class again to have playground time. And then at 12 o'clock will be lunch time and as well free time. They have some free time before we go down for rest time. Rest time is a half an hour from 12:45 to 1:15. Towards the end of the year, I do start to make it a little bit less as they will be moving into first grade without a nap time, just to help them get used to that. At 1:15 will be our writing workshop time. Some of the skills we'll be working on are letter formation, learning how to write from left to right, adding punctuation to our sentences, using capital and lowercase letters, being able to write full sentences and to have the correct spacing between the words as well. So that is some time that I use to work with them one-on-one where they're at, as well being able to encourage them to go farther, give them challenges as well, meeting them where they are at. Some of the topics we will be doing, they'll have free writing time. They'll be able to write topic writing, maybe about what we're learning about in science or social studies, making lists about things we're learning, working on writing letters, opinion writing, informative writing. We'll be working on our own book reports about animals for science, and then we'll also be doing book writing, so they'll be learning about the different steps to be writing their own book as well. On Fridays, we'll be switching off between art and music. They'll be creating their own art. They'll be able to look at different pieces from different artists and talking about art, what the purpose may be, different lines and colors. In music time, we'll be talking about elements of music, the rhythm, the tone, why the certain artist is playing that type of music, instruments as well, learning about their sounds and the different instruments that there are. At 1:45, that'll be our center time, and that'll be time to practice our different skills that we've learned during the day. They'll be practicing their math skills, social studies information, science information, handwriting, reading skills, fine motor skills. As well, during this time, we'll be learning how to tie our shoes, and that'll also be our reading group time. I'll take time a couple days a week to meet with the different students at their different reading levels. This will be time to work on independence, moving around to their different centers by themselves, and it'll also be time to work with a partner. There'll be different games that they'll be able to work together and learn how to work together with a partner. At 2:30 will be independent reading time. They'll have time to look at books and read to themselves. And then at 2:45, we'll have our other snack time, and they'll be packing up before at 3 o'clock, where we move together with the other classes to go outside. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to message me on the class messenger, or Barbara as well will be here to answer any questions that you might have. As well, I hope that you've had a good evening, and I look forward to getting back in the classroom and seeing the girls again in a couple days.